Good morning, my wild and beautiful friends. I'm coming at you from the greenhouse. It is time to pick some beets. It's getting hot and they're getting a little wilty, so I'm going to pick a bunch and share with you my 3 favorite beet recipes. Keep on watching to see how we make them. So we've got 3 different ways we're going to prepare these beets today, guys. I've got some purple and golden beets. I'm going to reserve about a third of them and not peel them. The other 2/3 I'm going to peel with a vegetable peeler and dice up like so. And I'm going to prep them with a little bit of olive oil and salt. And we're going to roast them in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour or until they're fork tender. And while these little beauties are baking, I'm going to get started on our first recipe. I have got some chopped walnuts in about a half a teaspoon of coconut oil. I'm going to add a bit of Splenda. We're making like a really low-cal, low-sugar candied walnut to put on a little beet salad. So I'm going to just let that stir in until everything gets nice and toasted. Be careful with nuts. They burn very quickly, so this happens really fast. Everything will come together and you'll smell them roasting, and that's how you know they're ready. This first little salad we're making is only 3 ingredients. You need your roasted beets, some sort of candied nut, and I love this vegan feta. I'm just going to crumble it on top of the beets, sprinkle on our walnuts, and enjoy. So simple and full of summer flavor. Our second recipe is just as simple. We're taking those reserved beets that we did not cook and adding it to our juicer. You can totally do this in a high flour blender as well. Got our purple beets and our golden beets. Look how gorgeous that is. I love the flavor of beet juice. It's so earthy and delicious and sweet. But I do like to add a couple of veggies and fruits to kind of make it a little bit more vibrant. I added 1 carrot and 2 thumb-size amounts of ginger. That's going to spice it up. A green apple. And that is it, guys. I'm also going to add a little bit of fresh lemon juice at the end. And this is so hydrating and delicious, full of so many nutrients. This pulp that comes out of your juicer, you can totally cook with it, or if you don't have the time like I do today, I'm just going to compost it. So I'm just going to add a ton of ice. We're going to pour in our beautiful purple juice. Going to add some lemon, and this will be the most refreshing afternoon treat. Now on to our third and final recipe, probably my favorite. This is a Detroit beet hummus. So simple. I've just got a can of chickpeas here that I've drained. To that, I'm going to add about a cup of our roasted beets. And then, because you know I love garlic, I'm adding 3 cloves. You can use 1 to 3. I love 3, but it does make it quite garlicky. I'm going to also use the juice of an entire lemon. Brighten that up real good. And before I add anything else, I'm going to pulse this through our blender a little bit, kind of get it mixed up, make sure that garlic is nice and incorporated. It's going to look kind of like a chutney. Then I'm going to add the rest of our liquid ingredients to make it real smooth. So this is looking perfect. Now I'm going to add some olive oil. I'm adding 1/4 cup here. And then I'm going to add some tahini. Since it's so stinking hot outside, it's pretty liquidy, but I just want to make sure I mix in those solids to make sure we get the sesame seed part as well as the oily part. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of tahini. This really adds to the creaminess, obviously, but it gives it a nice nuttiness. It really goes well with those chickpeas and the garlic and the beets. It brings everything together. So before I blend this up, I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm also going to sprinkle in a little bit of roasted red pepper flakes to give us a little bit of heat. And I'd suggest you start small with these flavors, blend it up, and then you can, of course, add more. Then I'm going to take this over to our blender stand, and we're going to buzz it up until it's super creamy, no lumps, and this beautiful, almost like red velvet color from the beets. Ooh, I'm so excited. Once it's nice and creamy, I give it a taste test. It tasted great. I just felt like it needed a little bit more lemon, so I added about 1/4 of a lemon squeeze, and it brightened it up perfectly. Look at that gorgeous dip, guys. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's the perfect appetizer. You can eat it with vegetables, pita chips, crackers. I love to eat it with cucumber. It's just so pretty. It totally ups your hummus game to the next level, and you get some more nutrients in there. Another way that I love to eat this as like a full dinner instead of an appetizer, I spread it either on some pita bread or some romaine like I'm doing here. Be super generous with it. And then I'm going to add a bit of falafel that we just cooked up. I have an awesome falafel recipe. I'll link that above and below as well. Or you can totally get the box stuff, whatever is more convenient for you. Then I'm going to add some cherry tomatoes that I've cut up, a little bit more cucumber, and some red onion. And this is like the most perfect hearty and fresh falafel hummus wrap you've ever had. That romaine with it gives it an awesome crunch, and it's just so refreshing. This is like quintessential summer food if you ask me. The only issue is attempting to eat it without making a giant damn mess, which clearly I'm already struggling. So maybe making a salad's better, but I love the idea of these wraps. They're really fun to eat. Just gonna fold that over that way and we will be good to go. Oh, I wish it would focus for you. A little blurry, but totally delicious. And there you have it. Those are my 3 favorite ways to eat beets from my garden. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope that you're staying safe and healthy, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Cheers.